Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we got some content that will make you say, oh damn, I didn't know that. So make sure you watch this video all the way through, and to celebrate that we got such a crazy episode going, and because I'm really happy with all the support you guys have been giving, I want to give away 25 XRP. I know it's not much, but it will really make somebody happy. So if you don't want to enter, just say, I don't want to enter. All you have to do, press the like button, comment something down below, and make sure you are subscribed, and we'll announce the winner tomorrow. Let's go on. So first of all here, I've been tweeting out a lot today, and the main reason for that is I want to see what you guys' stance is upon a lot of these things, all right? And the first thing you'll see if you check my Twitter was this thing right here. Banks brace for Big Bang switch on $80 trillion worth of swaps. It is being called the Big Bang, and it has derivatives traders on high alert. In a critical development in a global shift away from old benchmarks that was triggered by Libor's shortcomings, interest rate swaps on more than $80 trillion in notional debt will transition this weekend to a new rate for determining their value. While the switch to the Secured Overnight Financing Rate, or SOFR, is expected to boost longer-term liquidity in the new benchmark, it is also fueling concerns about unruly price action because it is expected to trigger the sale of swaps of tens of billions of dollars of debt. The Big Bang is one of the most important steps in the Libor's transition, said Marcus Burnett, director of the SOFR Academy, an education technology firm whose clients include banks and asset managers. We expect rates desks from the largest banks in New York to be participating. The reset, which will see the SOFR replace the effective federal funds rate in calculations that value swaps, is part of the push to make the SOFR a standard U.S. reference rate in debt and derivatives markets. SOFR is intended to replace dollar Libor, which still underpins hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets, such as mortgages in the U.S. and syndicated loans in Asia. The Big Bang follows a smaller scale pivot in Europe just July, a less complicated switch that occurred without much impact on the market. So, I don't know about you guys, but this, to me, is a rather big change. And the Big Bang will have a very, very good impact on liquidity, said Jason Granite, Chief Labor Transaction Officer at Goldman Sachs Group, Inc. I don't really know exactly what to expect from all of this yet, because I have just introduced myself to this whole idea. However, I've been seeing a lot come back from HSBC. All right, here another one. Firms need to understand they are facing more risk from this change first before they eventually get less risk, said Peter van Vredenburg, a principal at Market Alpha Advisors and previously a member of the Alternative Reference Rates Committee, which is guiding the U.S. Libor, and I'm hoping I pronounced that right, Libor or Libor, it's a 50-50 for me, transition when he worked for HSBC Holdings PLC. Now, all right, the big bangs are very prepared for the Big Bang, said Van Vredenburg. I found it interesting, but what do I think about the smaller banks? Are they ready? Not even close, yada, yada, yada. So, okay, there's a couple of parts important. One is that they're explaining that big banks will be able to transition quicker than smaller banks. And fun fact, whenever we consider Ripple and XRP, we're almost always explaining the exact opposite, right? Where it's like, well, these smaller banks can transition easier than these bigger banks will. So that's kind of a fun part. Also, this HSBC comes back in quite a lot of things. One of them being this right here, all right? 200 visionary speakers include, I'm talking about the Payment Summit. At least that's what I'm assuming that these speakers will also be at of right now. Because right now there is also an event, which I'm assuming they are on as well. Let's see quickly here. It's this 2-day summit. But I'm kind of debating now if what they're talking about here is the one from June 21st, 2021, or if this one is the one we're talking about today. All right, because there's one going on today and tomorrow. No, Okay, perfect. This one is still talking about the right one. I was briefly confused for a second because of the postponed stuff at the top right here. As you can see. But yeah, the event was supposed to be today. I'm assuming it's still today, but then online, right? Or did it now really change over into June 2021? That this whole event has not been done anymore. It could also be, guys, I actually just wanted to show you guys that I see HSBC in a lot of different things here, which have to do with payments, which is rather logical, but just keep in mind it's everywhere. Another part here, Facebook's Libor crypto taps ex-HSBC executive as CFO of payments unit. Libra, by the way, is also progressing quite interestingly. Like, we've not been hearing too much about Libra in the last, couple of months, ever since the bigger regulatory questionings. But recently here, last week, I've been seeing them a ton. Really, they've been updating themselves. Another thing that's happening here is the Internet of Things and the future of payments. Was it this one right here? Let's briefly see exactly what I was referring to here. There's another event right now, like right here. Oh, it's the Money 2020. That's going to be October 26th to October 29th. Again, kind of questioning whether or not this will go through, since the background here is still a normal event. But I'm assuming that if this goes through, it's going to be online. Because here they're saying, see you again 2021, like it's already happened. Okay. Usually you have to travel with us to one of our live shows to be part. Not anymore. It'll be the Ever Money Fast, yada, yada, yada. I'm assuming that right now it's live online, which will definitely still be rather interesting, in my opinion. I don't know if these things are also easy to attend, by the way, or if they're really, really difficult to get into or really expensive. Again, I'm just showing you guys some stuff that I found. I just want to share it briefly, then dig further into it, and then move on. But the easier way to do that is by first sharing what I've found or thought about, so you guys can actually give some feedback and some thoughts. That's what I like to do, because that way I don't have to research everything myself. And a lot of you guys come to me on Twitter and say, hey man, I got this here, do something with that or share this for me, please. And that really helps a ton. I don't remember exactly. I think this was, to talk about the future of payments, because this whole talk here is about the future of payments, which supposedly now is postponed for another half year, right? Because this is not going through, which would be a rather interesting discussion. It's not like they're sitting still not talking about the future of payments. I mean, we know the Fed has just kind of done a statement about that, claiming that CBDCs are necessary. We saw it from Jerome Powell just now. We know Trump's whole thought about the whole situation. We know Christine Lagarde from the ECB about this whole situation. And I guess we're starting to see some smaller individuals also become more and more aware of all these facts, and more other websites showcasing. I don't remember exactly what this article was for. This one I had opened because even something I use personally, as any guy in the Netherlands, I think, or gal, has ING. ING, pretty known around the world because they're doing a lot of good things. And, they're making some headway for themselves. They actually are also sometimes really in the global spearheads of this technology and these types of things. Now, interestingly enough, starting this year, we'll launch Swift GPI in almost all ING countries after a successful pilot in 2019. So it's not like it's any Ripple stuff, but the fact that they are continuing with these instant payments shows me that banks really want to move this through. And also, Internet of Things, Internet of Value, these things are being built upon more and more and more. Cash won't be king, another part that's really important to understand, and one that probably won't. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin replacing existing retail payment systems. That's where I kind of got demotivated, yet also kind of encouraged. Let me explain that to you. In theory, Bitcoin has value because international payments were historically slow, expensive, and not very transparent. Bitcoin transfers cost are virtually nothing, and it happens in real time. That is counteracted by Bitcoin mining being so inefficient, with the whole system collapsing under its own weight. Current cryptocurrency solutions aren't scalable enough to function as an alternative to existing retail payment systems, which must process hundreds of transactions per second. So that's the caveat. I think a lot of you guys see it already, but listen to me here. what they're explaining is literally only Bitcoin, right? Maybe Ethereum too. Because if we're talking TPS, transactions per second, of 100 plus, even 500 plus, a lot of crypto will do the trick. XRP at 1500 plus, or I guess 1500, will definitely do the trick to process the transactions. So that's quite well. But also, if you think about it, well, Bitcoin has value because of international payments being slow, expensive, and not fair and transparent. That's really not that logical. If you think about it, Bitcoin is really not there because historically payments were slow. Because I don't think anybody ever used Bitcoin because it's faster, right? I don't really think people would use it that way. It's more so because it used to be rather anonymous, used to be a good way to get value across the world. But you know, it could still be rather expensive. I mean, it's not like it's that cheap, and it's not like Bitcoin. Yeah, it was because they were like, oh, Bitcoin is so transparent, let's use that one. I don't think that was the reason either. But for XRP, this whole equation holds, you know? Literally every point they're making here can be disproven. So why Bitcoin was made? Well, I guess this is really why XRP was made, if you think about it. Literally that. Does it collapse under its own weight? No. XRP does not do that. Is it inefficient? No. Are they scalable enough? Yes. So literally, they can't really have any. So that's why at first I was kind of disappointed. I was looking at it like, damn, ING has a negative stance upon it. And then I was like, man, you know, what they're explaining here just talks about Bitcoin and really doesn't mention any negative part about utilizing XRP. To me, it's another positive thing. Because otherwise they would have most likely put in some arguments here which would counter most, or at least some arguments for XRP. But literally, look at it. 0 arguments being put here to cancel XRP, which is rather nice in my opinion. All right, then a lot of you guys said, man, cover stellar. I want to do that. So one of the things I notice now, and I'm gonna update myself from here on forward. So guys, keep in mind, again, I'm not there as soon as the rest sometimes, but I try to update myself. All right, I was gone for a couple of days, but now I'm getting back into it. All right, I was gone for about 4 days, but now I'm getting back in, but I have to catch up. What is the impact of digital money on the international monetary system? Tune in Monday, October 19th, all right? We saw some of the conclusions from this already, but what is important to know is that the International Monetary Fund, IMF, put on their website kind of a stream for all of this, and let's see exactly where they mention XLM. Let's see here. All right, so it's on there. Stellar XLM Development Foundation goes to wait. Let's see if I have another one actually in English that would be easier. So Stellar Lumen, there we go. CEO attends IMF conference with MasterCard and U.S. Federal Reserve. Donnell Dixon, CEO of Stellar Lumens, will participate in the IMF event with representatives from the U.S. Fed and MasterCard. IMF event will explore the creation of a global roadmap to improve cross-border payments. Looking at it right here, can we see the faces briefly? No face, no case right there. All right. I thought there was a face. I guess I was wrong. Okay, so it's not actually in this list right here. Because what's her name now exactly? I always remember when I see it, I'm like, oh, Donnell Dixon, because it's kind of a catchy one. You don't see her face on there, but she definitely is in it all. The event will aim to discuss what impact do digital currencies have on the international financial system, yada, yada, yada. We actually saw most of that before. I actually covered a lot of those parts because the most important kind of statement that came out is that these CBDCs are a viable option, right? What is the connection to XLM? I can't tell you guys just quite yet exactly how this is going to flow in, but they were there, they were involved, which not a lot of other companies in that this sector can say. So I'm definitely proud to say that XLM was there. Also, maybe following this, maybe not, they have been doing rather well in terms of price. I saw that, which was rather interesting. And yeah, I actually did not leave open the articles anymore that were talking about the XLM price, I'm guessing right now, because they were all saying, yeah, there was an XLM Golden Cross, and XLM was doing good, and I'm assuming that it actually came after this event just now. Let's just quickly see here. So the event, kind of the announcement on IMF came the 17th. I don't know at exactly what date, or what time, I mean. So This is the 17:05 a.m., which makes me assume that this was kind of a pre-pump for some other reason. And then the 19th, yeah, this kind of looks like it was because of the IMF, because it's just at the start of the 19th, the day the conference was. It did a pretty massive surge from about 7.9 to 8.7 cents. So that one could definitely be there. However, this one I can't really explain. It could be that it's either a pre-pump for it, for such an announcement, or could be a lot of different things going on right there. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe there was something else, though, that I've missed. And again, that's why I'm telling you guys I'm going to be updating myself more and more and more now. I noted it, so I'm going to be checking it out. But that was it for today, guys. I got some more stuff on the election, but I'm going to be talking about that maybe later today, maybe tomorrow.